Hey, what's up, VC? It's Steve again, Harmless Rebel, and it's time for another, this is kind of a mixed bag update. This is stuff I've bought over probably the last couple of months that I've either just got to listen to or I'm just getting around to showing. I mean, it's been something like 3 weeks since I did an actual record update. I've been doing contests and VCLT and stuff like that, so I've kind of been slacking on my duties. So let's just kind of jump into it. Again, it's kind of a mixed update. There's not going to be any hard rock or heavy metal to show. I'll be showing that in another update in the next few days or so. So let's start with what's playing in the background. These first three I picked up yesterday. Stopped by the record store for the first time in a while. I haven't been to a record store in probably since right before Christmas, I guess. But popped in and found a couple of goodies. So first up is what we're listening to right now. It's a Japanese pressing of Eagles on the Border. I believe this is the second Japanese pressing. Don't quote me on that, though. I'm pretty sure it is, though. This just happened to be one of the two Eagles albums I was missing, and to find it on a Japanese pressing made it that much better. The Eagles, I'm a big fan of the Eagles. It kind of carries over from my parents. My mom was a big country rock fan, and my dad was a big southern rock fan. So, I've always kind of had that. It's been kind of ingrained in me, I guess. And I'll show. There's a few more southern rock albums I'm going to show as well. But Eagles on the Border. Then I also ran across this. I've been looking for this album for probably 2 years now. I've seen it a couple times, but it's always trashed. So I found this nice VG Plus, almost near mint copy of, their 1969 debut. Really the forefathers of modern prog, in my opinion. A couple people would argue it's one of the French prog bands, or even King Crimson. These guys predate King Crimson just a bit. I do believe that them growing up in the same scene, though, kind of forced them to both innovate, and they just kind of made each other better. But love this album. Next up, Texas rocker ZZ Top, El Loco. This is one of them I was missing. Another one that I run across pretty regularly that's usually pretty trash. I love this album. It happens to be a promo copy as well, which is pretty cool. And then just for some stuff, the rest of this stuff I've just picked up over the last few weeks. Some of it's Goodwill finds, some of it's stuff I found in antique malls, stuff like that. So first up, this one I found for like $2 and I couldn't pass on it. This is a Lynyrd Skynyrd 12-inch single from England. It was an England-only pressing. It's I've Been Your Fool and Gotta Go. And then Genesis, and then there were 3. I gotta say, I was pretty disappointed with this album, and that's probably the first time I've ever said that about Genesis. Usually I love the Genesis albums from beginning to end, and man, this one just didn't hit me right, I'll give it another spin. It may have just been a mood thing, but usually I'm really deeply or really into Genesis, and I don't know what it was about this one. It was just, I don't know, I found this one to be kind of boring, honestly, compared to the Genesis that I know and love, Next up, this is another one that's kind of been passed down to me from my dad. He was a big Mellencamp fan, which, I grew up listening to it. I really love, especially 80s, late 70s, and through the late 80s, John Mellencamp, or John Cougar Mellencamp, or John Cougar, or whatever the hell he was going by. The Lonesome Jubilee. It was $1.89. It's in really good condition. I couldn't pass on it. These next two I was really surprised to run across for the price that I found them for. They're both in great condition. I've had both of these on CD. This is the first time I've had either on vinyl. First up is Cry of Love from Jimi Hendrix. Just a killer album. Just got a repress too. This one had some great songs. Easy Rider, Angel, Belly Button Window. just classic Hendrix, and adding to that collection. And then Band of Gypsys. I actually didn't like Band of Gypsys when I heard it back in probably 91 or 92. I was a real big fan of Jimi Hendrix back then. That's when I was really getting into him. And for some reason, this one just didn't sit with me. And now that I listen to it again, I don't know why. I love this album. Machine Gun is one of my favorite Hendrix songs. I love that song. And come on, it's got Buddy Miles on it. You can't go wrong with Jimi Hendrix and Buddy Miles. Next three, back to the Southern Rock. And this is Southern Rock at its best. Allman Brothers at the Fillmore East. I think I picked this one up for like $3. I was really shocked at what I paid for this one. And I was also surprised. I've never seen it in it's a double LP, but it's a non-gatefold. I've never seen the non-gatefold. I didn't even catch that it didn't even register when I bought it that it wasn't a gatefold. Just one of those weird things, I guess. And this is probably my second favorite Allman Brothers CD or album. Their debut album is by far my favorite. I think it's one of the best Southern Rock albums out there. But this is a close second for me. Brothers and Sisters. Just a killer album. And then Enlightened Rogues, another, probably in my top 5 Allman Brothers albums. Move on to a little bit more prog. First up, we've got ELP, their debut album. By far my favorite ELP album, Emerson, Lake and Palmer album. I already have this. This is an upgrade. This one is, I don't know if you can see it, this thing is in mint condition. I think I paid $4 or $5 for this too. Got it for really cheap. If you haven't heard this Emerson, Lake and Palmer, a lot of people started what got into Tarkus and Targus, what was the other one? Trilogy maybe. This is their best by far in my opinion, as I mentioned. This one they still had that psych sound, so it's kind of a mix of psych and prog. They kind of lost that psych sound as they moved on. Just do yourself a favor, you know. And then this one's not my favorite, but still another great album is, what is this one even called? Pictures at the Exhibit. And the album that killed the band. Sounds a little bit dramatic, and it may be. They may have been dead long before this, but Kilroy was here. This album kind of shows how low a band can go, and I really like Styx. I actually like this album, but when you compare this and Mr. Roboto to their first 4 albums, I mean, there's just no comparison. They were so good, just good hard rock on those first 4 albums, and this is just kind of the epitome of a hard rock band selling out. I mean, this is just straight pop AOR, overproduced, you know. This one was let's make sure, sorry. I already recorded half this video and it stopped, so I'm re-recording, so I'm just checking, making sure it's still recording. I don't know what happened last time. I don't know if I ran out of space or what, but it just died on me. The Donnas, Bitchin'. I actually found this. I got bored and I was looking through Amazon one day and I think I typed in albums for under $7 or under $10 or something. And this popped up, $5. Really good album. It's not their best. I prefer their first few albums when they had, it's on purple vinyl. I prefer their first few albums where they had that garagey punk sound. But I've actually liked everything that they put out, and this is another good album from them. Definitely worth picking up. If you're new to, or if you haven't heard the Donnas, I would definitely start with those earlier albums. But, you know, this one's definitely more commercial, but still a good album. And then Long Misty Days from Robin Trower. Killer album. This is my second favorite behind Bridge of Sighs. And these first 3 or 4 albums from him are amazing, flawless. You've got to get those out. If you like Jimi Hendrix, you're going to love these first few albums from him. Next up, Shake It Up from the Cars. Don't need to talk about that too much. It was $3. It's in great condition. This one was a really nice find. I paid $5 for this. Blown away by the price. Just a beautiful mint copy of Shining On from Grand Funk. I have a copy. The cover's pretty beat on it, which is usually the case with these. And to find one for so cheap in mint condition, I couldn't pass up on it. This one right here was actually a, what's the word I'm looking for? A Goodwill find. A mono copy of Rubber Soul. VG condition, plays really nicely. I actually already had the stereo copy, so to find a mono copy was pretty cool. Norwegian Wood. It's probably the biggest hit off it. The whole album is good. Norwegian Wood is probably the best and my favorite song on here. And then I also picked up Hey Jude. I actually paid a couple bucks for this. I think I paid like $8 or $9. But really good, VG Plus condition. I'm not a fan of the American Beatles pressings. The way they mix the songs from the different albums has never made sense to me. Everybody goes gaga over the Butcher covers. I think it's a crappy album. Same thing with Hey Jude. They've all got good songs. They just don't go together. It's never made sense to me compared to the British pressings. The British pressings, everything sounds good. It's cohesive. It works together. And the executives here in the U.S., in all their infinite wisdom, decided, hey, let's screw with that. So, still, it's got some good songs. Don't get me wrong. You've got Hey Jude, Revolution, Lady Madonna, I Should Have Known You Better, or I Should Have Known Better, Don't Let Me Down, Can't Buy Me Love. They're all great songs. They just don't, not together. Next up, a couple of Fleetwood Mac albums. The first one here is Mirage, which is Buckingham Nicks era Fleetwood Mac. I like the Buckingham Nicks stuff. It's nowhere as good as the early stuff, though. I just recently, I say the last 5 or 6 years, have got into their older catalog. I grew up listening, and we all did on the radio, listening to songs from Mirage and from Rumors, and they're great albums, don't get me wrong, but when you compare that to the early Fleetwood Mac, man, this stuff is so good. Penguin, this was also a Goodwill find. Another just killer Goodwill find. The Who live at Leeds. Another cheap pickup. I think I paid $6 for this. It's in pretty much in mint condition. I actually didn't want. I run across the one with all the crap inside of it all the time. I didn't want that. I don't need all that stuff. All that. If you're not familiar, it's a kind of a gimmick album. It comes with all these contracts and all this paperwork for the band. It's popped up on like Pawn Stars. People thinking they found the real thing. It's all obviously just duplicates, but. I just like the album. That's all this is. Killer live album. The versions of My Generation and Magic Bus on here. Get that album. Another killer album. This I got from a member of the VC for a pretty good deal. This is the early 80s repress of Amagama. It just happened to be one of the ones I was missing from their collection. And these last two were also killer finds. These were both picked up at 50 cents or 70 cents, something like that, at Goodwill. December's Children from the Stones. VG condition. And then probably my favorite Stones album, 12 by 5. Again, VG condition. Just killer album beginning to end. And to find that at Goodwill, man, it doesn't get much better than that. That's it, guys. I tried to get through those as quick as I could. Like I said, I had a lot of crap to show. A lot of stuff over the last couple months. It's been a while since I did an update. Again, I'll have another update coming up pretty soon. I think I've got some VCLT coming in today. And then I have some good hard rock and heavy metal to show. I'm still listening to a few of the albums. So once I've gotten through those in the next few days, I'll go ahead and throw up another hard rock and heavy metal update. So other than that, take care, VC, and I'll see you soon.